we are nearing the end of 2023, we thought it'd be a good idea to start with a little bit of a year in review. One of the individuals that really resonated for me in 2023 was Deion Sanders.
That was a big name.
Yeah, mad jersey sales. Like, I'm pretty sure he has the top selling MLS jersey of all time now.
I think we're definitely at one of those, moments in time and civilization, similar to when the cell phone came out and the internet came out and the smartphones came out.
100%.
This is one of those moments.
Yep.
All right, let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hype, Hustle, Heart, where we talk about the culture, the business, and the people that drive it. I'm your host, Gustavo Raygoza, a.k.a. Gus, a.k.a. Goose.
I'm Darren Bryson, a.k.a. Influencer Dub, a.k.a. Dub.
What's up, y'all? I'm Jovan Juarez, a.k.a. Gio.
Let me just knock out some housekeeping here real quick. We just want to make clear, guys, that, any opinions expressed are solely ours, and they're not the opinions of any persons, brands, or organizations that we might mention during our podcast. So This is just us talking, keeping it light. It doesn't reflect anybody's opinion per se, other than ours.
Yep.
And I'll go even further and say that any opinions that I express are not Dubs and are not Geo's, exactly. and vice versa, fellas.
Yeah,
so,
agreed.
we don't want anybody getting upset about the wrong things. And, like I said, we're keeping it light. So, All right, fellas, here we are.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Getting ready to do this thing. Yeah, let's do it.
Long time coming.
Absolutely. It's been a while. We've been talking about doing this. We finally got it together.
Yeah, it looks good too.
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, we'll be making improvements as we go, but we definitely been looking forward to putting something out for not just our folks, but for the folks that don't know us. So, a lot of you guys might know us already as the crew from Presco Productions, and if you don't, we invite you to continue watching us and check us out and get to know us. And we're gonna keep it lighthearted here. We ain't gonna take ourselves too seriously.
Mm-hmm. Have some fun with it.
Have some fun with it. Yeah, absolutely. We just want to chit chat about certain things. So, what we figured we'd start off with in these first couple episodes is, since we are nearing the end of 2023, we thought it'd be a good idea to start with a little bit of a year in review. Right. So let's start off. Right. When we talk about hype, hustle, heart, hype being the culture, hustle being the business, and heart being the people. I think one of the individuals that really resonated for me in 2023 was Deion Sanders.
Agreed. Yeah. Love Deion, man. Love Deion. Love everything he's doing. And looking forward to what he's going to bring to the table even more next year.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about it. Right. So Deion had a hell of a year coming out of, Jackson State last year, signing a contract to go to Colorado. He's had endorsement deals and sunglasses. He's moving his sons along.
Oh, my God, man. The endorsement deals are crazy. When you watch the Colorado game, 90% of the commercials have Deion and his sons in it. It's crazy.
Can we say... can we say the Deion effect is in full effect?
It is in full effect, man. It's in full effect. From the sold-out stadiums to the personnel that showed up to the games, it's in full effect.
Yeah. For myself, I would say 100%. Like, I'm not used to watching college football games, but the reason why I did watch a few games this year was because of Deion.
Because of Deion.
Yep.
No, that's 100% true. I'm not
keeping it real.
I'm not a college football fan, but I ain't gonna lie, I definitely tuned into a few Colorado games.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you had to.
I mean, think about it. So I think what brings something I want to talk about besides what we all know about Deion is what made me bring him up is I just think that he's him, right? Like he's that special guy. So I recently saw. Let me play this clip and we'll talk about it real quick. Let's check it out.
Let's do it.
Let's not crucify and punish these high school kids. Okay, whatever the punishment that comes along with it, all right, let that be that community service or whatever is it. But let's not abort the rest of their opportunities and lives because of a mistake. Because if we were to really do a roll call of mistakes at the age of 17, 18 in here, I'm sure everybody would tip out of here with their head down like we're in church, okay? So let's make sure that those kids atone for what transpired, if it's community service, whatever it is, but they don't lose an opportunity to change their lives. They're kids. They made a stupid, dumb, idiotic mistake. Guess what? When I was 7 and 18, so did I.
All right, so there you have it. You see, the reporters asking about the incident that happened. Super unfortunate, but I don't know. Like, to me, it's Deion's reaction is just, it's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
you would imagine, they're like trying to fish something out of him in terms of like, hey, did they get your stuff back? And, what do you think about the punishment that's going to be coming? And so first things that coming out of Deion's mouth is really talking about like, let's think about how this is going to impact these young men's lives. right?
Exactly. Yeah. How it's going to impact the kids. And I mean, we've all done wrong by someone. You know what I mean? Like, he brings up those kind of points of just being human, like giving people a pass. And it doesn't have to be as drastic as they're trying to make him portray it to be,
Yeah, he said it himself. And I think that's something that we can all, I know I can relate to it. He's like, hey, man, we were all young and stupid and did some stupid
Yeah.
shit when we were, younger. And,
Most definitely.
and these kids, did the same thing. And, I think he even went as far as to suggest, right, kind of low-key suggest community service for these kids because
Yeah.
you don't know, right? I mean, think about it. If he wanted to, kind of take it, to a different place,
Oh, he definitely could have done it.
he definitely could have
Yeah.
done it. But,
Yeah.
his reaction is like, let's see what we can do to turn these kids around. Maybe they get some community service. Maybe this is a turning point in their lives.
Yeah.
And, I think that's what really speaks volumes to the individual and the person that Deion Sanders really is.
Yeah, got a lot of respect for Deion, especially to still have that kind of mentality about a community that kind of gave him backlash for coming and leaving. He still cares about the people there. He cares about, the surrounding and the people that actually impacted him, that he impacted while he was there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to see that firsthand not too long ago. We had an opportunity to work with Deion a couple years
Yeah,
back.
man, definitely fortunate for that one.
Yeah. I mean, I was more behind the scenes, but you were actually producing that piece, right? We worked with
Gillette, yeah.
Gillette and Deion.
Yeah. Gillette for the razor commercial.
Yeah, talk about the person that he really
Oh,
is
man.
in person, right?
Oh, man, he comes in, he lights the room up. He's super charismatic. Everybody that was in there had no choice but to feel his aura, his atmosphere. If you weren't on your game, he's gonna make you get on your game just based on his personality. Like, and you see that in like a lot of his motivational speeches or his pregame talks with his team. That stuff is real, bro. He is a pro behind the camera. Everything that they had. Oh, second to none.
Second to none. Second to none. I mean,
It was crazy.
When
It
we
was
start,
crazy.
I start thinking back, and he starts reviewing the script, and he's like, you know what? I don't think this fits. He goes, we're gonna go a little bit off script.
Yep.
And he's a natural, man.
Amplified it. He amplified it 1,000%, and still hit their touch points and touch tones at the same time. No, man, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Deion's a special person. Hey, and in the sneaker world, he actually made a little bit of news this year, didn't he, Gio?
Mm-hmm. He re-signed with Nike, so I think they're going to start retroing some
That's
of his kicks and
fire.
diamond turfs. I think the first one we're going to see is 2024.
Yeah, bro.
No actual date given, though.
Love the diamond turfs. That's OG.
Yeah, it's a fire pair. I
Most definitely.
definitely look forward.
Did
to
you have a
those.
pair, Gus?
You know what? I did not. I remember them back in the day. Why you dating me for, bro? All right. You busted me out here, but yeah, I was definitely around when the originals came out, and I do remember those drops. And I mean, Deion, at the end of the day, man, that's prime time, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's everybody's gonna want their shoe when it drops.
Totally.
Just based off Deion's name.
Totally.
Have to.
But so
That's for the culture for sure.
props and shots out to Deion for
Yeah,
continuing to, impact the culture in the positive ways that he does, and just being special all around.
Thank you, Prime Time.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it, man.
Let's go.
So, something that I noticed during those Colorado games and even some of the Jackson State games is, the fanfare and some of the celebrities and the influencers that were making their way to these games, right? And as we talk about that and, just notable people that are showing up to these different games. I want to kind of change the subject and transition over to notable individuals in another sport, football, as we call it,
Okay.
or soccer as we call it in this country, right?
Yep.
We had some big news this year in the world of soccer, especially in the MLS, right?
Yep. We had the GOAT, Messi. he's
You
my
can say
favorite,
it, bro. You can say
he's
the GOAT.
my favorite player, but so I'm being a little biased, but to me, yeah, he's definitely the number one best soccer player of all time. Others will say, we'll drop other names, but yeah, big impact.
Pele.
I haven't watched an MLS game, in a few years. So for him to come, obviously got me stuck to my television every game he had. Right, that's
Yeah.
what I was watching.
Yeah,
I think
man.
even T-Mobile offered a free MLS season pass too if you had T-Mobile as a wireless carrier.
That
That's
to
nuts
me is
yeah.
like really, I think, a big part of the story, right? Like Messi is obviously, a special individual for the ages, and but when we look at the impact that he had from a business standpoint,
Yeah.
coming to the MLS, I mean, didn't he turn down like $1 billion contract or something to go play in Saudi
Yeah, bro.
Arabia?
Yep, he sure did.
And
Yeah.
that's just, those are some wild numbers. And folks were like, man, why don't you take that $1 billion and go over there, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know Ronaldo went over there, but when you start looking at some of the specifics and the details of the deals that Messi made, I think part of it is like, I think there's a rev share in there with the MLS. I want to
Okay.
say Apple's involved with, them streaming some of these games on Apple TV and,
And that was a big name.
Yeah, mad jersey sales. Like, I'm pretty sure he has the top selling MLS jersey of all time now. So just imagine the money that he's bringing in through that too, and he's
that's
getting
nuts.
rev share from that as well.
yeah. And what wasn't Miami, basically in last place before he joined the team?
Yeah, correct. They had a chance to. I guess they were fighting for the playoffs, but they didn't make it. But he definitely had a big impact. They had a couple of domestic tournaments that they won. I want to say they won 2 tournaments.
But they definitely made some noise once Messi joined the team. Right?
Yeah,
Oh, of
they
course.
they won 1 cup or 2 cups. I think they won 2 cups.
You-
But let me just get up
we'll
real
check,
quick.
We'll
Yeah.
check we'll check the facts on that, but I think it's undeniable that Messi had a huge impact on
Oh, of
the
course.
MLS, and I
course.
think on the sport of soccer in the United States now and probably forever. I mean, this is going to probably be looked at as a huge turning point in United States soccer, I'd say.
Agreed. I totally agree. Because you guys know I'm not the hugest soccer fan.
Yeah, it was just.
but
Sorry to cut you off. It was
No,
just
you're
1
good.
cup. He won the Open Cup, which he basically won as soon as he got there and started playing. So that was pretty big for the club itself, since
Yeah, bro.
they were dead last. Kind of brought their momentum up. And
Instant impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I
Yeah.
started off saying, like, the stars were coming out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The stars were coming out to the games. The second that he signed, I think resale on tickets for all of his games across the country just skyrocketed, right?
Yep. Exactly.
The games were all sold out, and man, you can't question the impact that he's making right now and is gonna make to the sport, now moving forward in the States.
Agreed.
But all right, fellas, so let's dive into some other topics, right? We said we're gonna keep it light, we're gonna keep it fun. Let's see, what do I got here? Let's talk about it was new this year. Let's talk about Vegas. Let's talk about some stuff that was going on in Vegas this year, right? So there was
F1?
F1. Man,
Hey, man.
if you're a Formula One fan and seeing that come to Vegas the way that they rolled it out,
Yeah.
I think that's next level. Now, I know they had some issues with regards to, closing off, visibility to some parts of the course. I guess they wanted to make sure that the people that paid for what they were going to see got their money's worth, and nobody was kind of getting freebies up and down the strip.
Right. There was also the incident where there was a lot of, I guess, like not the potholes, but like the sewerage.
Oh,
Were
yeah.
causing
One of
trouble to the cars.
cars,
Yeah.
yeah.
One of the drivers was, I guess, running he was doing his test runs,
Right,
and
yep.
he ran over a sewer, and the sewer cap came up, right?
Something like that. Yeah. And
Bro, that's crazy.
all that, I guess,
Destroyed the car.
It was detected in his like computer that's attached to the car.
Yeah.
So it shut the car down. It didn't mess up the car, but
I heard that it pretty much totaled the
Totaled the
car
car out?
to be able to use it for that race. Like I know they had to swap it out.
That's
I don't know.
insane,
I mean,
bro.
you guys
That's
can check my facts on
insane.
that, but that was definitely, I think, that was one of the things that, so there was a couple things that put a little bit of a damper on that
Yeah.
movement over there, right? So it was like, you're blocking it off because you're not letting, your regular Vegas tourists, see what's going on. They had an issue with the track, but all in all, they pulled it off,
Yeah.
And who knows? That might be the beginning of a lot of F1 races to come in Vegas. So, and speaking of Vegas, I guess the backdrop of it, right? So what it looked like there's something new in Vegas that came up this year that just really has changed the landscape of that
bro.
of that city. And us from a production standpoint, man, when I saw this thing, I'm talking about the Sphere, fellas.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course. No, it was mind blowing when I saw it. Like still to this day, and I've seen some of the footage from it. People inside listen to concerts, and it's really unexplainable. But
think-
the money they said they put into it, it shows.
I think they're wanting to do. Did they bring up a Beyonce residency?
Really?
Isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
At
it
the
was.
Sphere.
At the Sphere.
Wow,
they're
that'd
working
be
on
so
it.
dope.
Yeah, they're working on it. Yeah,
I know they opened up with I think U2 was the first band to have a concert
so.
there.
Yep.
But everything I've seen, I haven't been there personally yet, but everything I've seen from it looks pretty amazing.
Yeah, it does.
I know Dana White was talking about prepping and setting up the biggest event that UFC has ever seen at that Sphere. I don't know what the timing of that's going to be, but he says that he's pretty much got it in the books and it's going to happen. So
Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
UFC in the Sphere, man, that's going to
Yeah,
be
that's gonna be
wild. man.
nuts.
It's going to be wild.
And that's just gonna start. That's just gonna propel something for boxing, for all these other sports to be able to do something in there potentially.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. So definitely something to check out and look forward to. Next trip out to Vegas. Got to check out that Sphere, man.
Yep.
It's wild. So let's talk a little bit about some of the drops this year. I think we might have like some differing opinions in terms of, which ones we liked and
Favorite drops of the year.
some of
type
our
vibe?
favorite drops of the
Yeah.
year, right? So everybody's got their favorite, does their top 10 list and,
Yeah.
but again, we're going to express our own opinions on this.
Yeah,
And
of course,
Might not
always.
be your favorite, but
Yeah.
we're going to share ours, right? So I don't know if I'm looking at like a few drops, one of them that's pretty notable definitely was that Kith drop, that collab with the X-Men. What'd you guys think about that?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
very unique,
was dope.
especially for those that are big time collectors. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying just X-Men collectors. I'm talking about all types of trading card game collectors,
exactly.
just for the cards that were a part of the packaging. The way the packaging was, the shoe was packaged in, was it a Mylar bag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
So
the tire rollout was crazy.
yeah. He had like I don't quote me on this, but I think he had like 8 different versions of Gel Light 3s.
Yeah.
And essentially,
like 8.
they
I think
were
it was
randomly placed into these Mylar bags and sealed, so you weren't able to see what shoe you were getting, right?
That's
I'm
crazy.
I'm
So-
not huge into that card world like
Yeah.
like Gio is. Like
Yeah.
Gio knows it well.
Oh, Gio definitely
But
knows.
but like correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, they definitely took a lot of notes from that world. Like it felt to me like these pack what do you guys call them, pack breaks, right?
Breaks, yeah.
Yeah, it seemed to me like you're breaking a pack to see if you got that card in there, but
yeah.
you're doing it with kicks, right?
Yeah,
because
so-
you didn't know what pair you were getting.
You
into.
were getting your size, but you don't know exactly what
colorway.
colorway you were getting,
Yeah.
and they were all different kinds of rarities, or I guess the production run of each shoe was a little different. So it was just the luck of the draw.
So that Kith drop I think was pretty
That was
special.
super dope.
Yeah. What else? What other drops were notable for you guys this year? What did you think?
To me, the Jarritos joint, and they're just because obviously
Jarritos.
that's what I grew up with since I was little. Like
bro.
that was a pretty dope Nike SB drop for the year. Unfortunately, I didn't get to land a pair, but who knows? Maybe they'll make another colorway down the road.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the reaction to it was pretty positive. So I would imagine that they're gonna do it again.
Yeah, the rollout for this was pretty dope too, especially if you were able to get a friends and family packaging.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was one box that had the Mexican cola with the Nike branding on it.
Right, they had the actual jarritos
Yeah.
inside. Yeah,
And then they
That's
also
dope.
had,
That's dope.
I guess, other packaged. I think like 4 packs of jarritos with the Mexican cola brand, or just the bottles themselves, which is pretty dope too.
That's fine.
So that I think that rollout was really special and really dope, at least for me.
Yeah, that's fire.
With
bro.
I guess with the cultural background, I don't know, being Mexican and whatnot.
That's fire.
I agree.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. The shoe that I'm looking forward to, or I think it's gonna be the best, hasn't come out yet. It's the reverse Grinches. Yeah.
Right. So that's coming out like now, right?
Yeah,
So
like right now,
When
yeah.
when this episode airs,
Exactly.
they
Should be
probably
out
had
by
just
now,
dropped.
Yeah,
out.
bro. I've been waiting for those since they first like leaked them, and then Tatum got a pair of them. This was years ago, and they're
think-
actually now.
I think we're putting
I
them.
think
Put them up on the screen while we're talking about them. But
Yeah.
we're
yeah.
checking them out. Man, these
wanna-
things are fire.
I want to say AD and Tatum
AD and
rocked
Tatum,
them.
yeah.
It might have just been AD, but when we saw
80
them
was the
on
first
him,
person. Yeah, you're
that
right.
was-
It was 80. 80
that
was
was
the first
just
person to get 'em.
mind-blowing.
And you just got to know how iconic the original Grinches are, bro. To be able to have the reverse, it's nuts. And it's Kobe.
I
You
mean,
know,
talking about other news this year and Kobe related is that
They started back
relationship-
making Kobe's.
right? That
Yeah.
relationship was continued,
Exactly.
right? I think there was probably a huge sigh of relief in the
Oh,
culture.
yeah. Oh, my God, bro.
To hear that happen.
Yeah, from us that are just sneakerheads and fans of Kobe to the people that's playing. Because you're talking about Devin Booker, that's all he loved to wear is Kobe's. There's so many guys in the league that love rocking Kobe's just because of the way they feel when you play. So for them to discontinue them or not have that relationship, that would have been bad. Would have been huge downer for the culture for
Yeah.
sure.
No, it's I think we're all happy that
Yeah.
the relationship is continuing and we're gonna have Kobe's for years to come. For
I
sure.
think it's a win for Nike. It is.
Totally.
Yeah, so to Dub, I'm just gonna throw my list out there.
All right, let's get to it. You know what? Let's make sure we save some for the other episode, but because I'm gonna save mine. I'm gonna save mine for the next episode. But I want to hear what you got to say, Gio. Gio's like really the top sneaker. I would say between
Most
the three of
definitely.
us, like Gio's the most knowledgeable of all of us.
Of all for the sneakers
Don't
for
listen
sure.
to those guys. But yeah. So top 3, I think Dub hit it on the head. The reverse Grinch, 100%. That's my number 3. We already kind of talked about that. Number 2 is I'm gonna have to go with the AJ3 reimagined white cement.
Man, I knew you was gonna do that.
I had to, man.
I bet I know you're number one though. I'm gonna let you say it first.
Number 1 is
SB4s.
Nike Jordan SB4s.
SB4s, I
The
knew it.
colorway was just wild.
Yeah, the pound
man.
that was crazy. Those were crazy.
Those were
iconic.
everybody loved those.
Yeah,
right?
those were dope. Those were dope. Those were dope. I can't deny that for sure. Those were dope.
Yeah, I think that's the first Nike SB4 at least
Yeah.
that is launched. But
All right, so Gio's
there's rumors to be more, but that 4s are my favorite too. So
Yeah.
so I'm kind of biased there. But
So to recap, Gio's top 3 were
number 3, number 3 is
Reverse
reverse Grinches.
your reverse Grinches. Okay,
Number 2 is the AJ3 reimagined white cement,
gotcha.
and then number 1 is the
the
Jordan
4s.
SB4s. Yeah.
Bet. Let's move over and talk a little bit about some things that were not necessarily part of the sneaker world. I think a big change this year, we're all on social media.
Yeah.
You guys are watching this on either IG or YouTube or TikTok or something.
Yeah.
Twitter, or should I say X?
X.
I'm still calling it Twitter.
You're still calling it Twitter?
I'm scrolling through my phone trying to find the app, and I'm still looking for Twitter.
Still
on
looking
there.
for Twitter, bro. I'm so used to it being there. I'm used to that blue bird, bro. I'm not used to that X.
Right, and like who's even calling it X, right?
Nobody really, to be honest with you.
But I think the man, and when I say the man, we're talking about Elon Musk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Elon Musk took over Twitter,
Yeah. Yeah.
huge, and he made the change. He changed the brand.
Yep.
I think he even went so
He
far as
changed
to
some guidelines. And,
yeah, he changed some guidelines. He let some people back on the platform. So
Yeah.
He's not censoring
right,
as
Yeah.
much as they would before, which is amazing. It's great. You're able to see everything that's being put on there, it's visible to everybody's eyes, no matter what it is, for the most part. So
Yeah.
I think he's kind of keeping that freedom of speech to the fullest on his
Yeah.
platform, which is pretty awesome.
I mean, I think any way you slice it, you know, when you have more avenues or more platforms for people to get their message out, or you know, like you said, freedom of speech, you know, I'm all for it. So,
Agreed.
but yeah, that was definitely a change, a big change in the news this year. Elon Musk taking over Twitter, changing the brand to X. What else is going on in 2023 that was interesting? What comes to mind for you guys?
AI
AI.
in general.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's been around, but to the magnitude that it is now, from content creation to verbiage on writing script and screenplays to,
It's just mainstream now.
bro, everything.
Yeah.
Anything you can think of, they're starting to program it for that.
Yeah, you know, there's
Oh, and a lot of music. Like,
music. It's how,
music is,
how it's impacted the
God.
music world, right?
and
Some of it's
both good and bad.
fire.
Both good and bad.
Yeah.
Some of those tracks are pretty fire too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be careful.
Yo, there's this one Drake and Weeknd song. It's so hard. I don't care. They had to make it. I don't know. It's
But-
too good.
But think about like you know, it's I mean, Drake, he's at the top of the game, you
Of
know.
course.
Same thing happened actually with Bad Bunny, you know,
Yeah. Yeah,
over
yeah.
in the Latin music scene. They did the same thing to
Yeah,
him.
bro.
So I mean, you know, AI is definitely making its impact. It definitely has gone mainstream this year. They got AI apps that you can build or build themselves coming out now. I don't know if you guys saw this. You know what? I'm going to pull this up real quick. Let's play this on the screen. Let's take a look at this. You guys tell me what you think.
Okay.
So,
Humane AI Pen. It's a standalone device and software platform built from the ground up for AI. Engagement comes through your voice, touch, gesture, the laser ink display. Play the song How Music Makes You Feel Better. Weather, the date, how much protein,
These almonds have 15 grams of protein.
how much is this online?
This is $28 online.
We'll tap. Staying in the moment and generating a gorgeous image.
it's like a lapel pin, you know, that you can put on your clothes, right? So it's wearable tech, right? So, and it seems to work more like a Siri or an Alexa, to where you just kind of talk about it or talk to it. Yeah, and here's the folks that invented it. And my understanding is that they formerly worked at Apple. They left Apple and they created this AI pin. So, you know, I don't know a whole lot about it. I do know that it's being designed to work strictly with AI to make people's lives easier. I've been hearing more and more about, you know, us going more to audio and to voice. You know, I know Gary Vaynerchuk talks a lot about the impact and the oncoming impact of voice and sound as a tool, as opposed to us going straight to our phones. And I think this speaks to that, right? Like this pin, it seems like you wear it, you talk to it, and it tells you what you need to know. But yeah, so I mean that's going on in the AI world. The music, and I don't know, guys. Like it's bringing us more and closer to the Terminator and the Matrix. I mean, I don't know. What we should we be excited or should we be scared? What do you guys think?
I think we should be cautious.
I think
I would
that's,
say cautious. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I've had several conversations. You know, we work with a lot of people in the creative realm. You know, obviously we're creators as well. And, you know, just people talking about like, hey, is this going to be one of those other things that are going to take away jobs, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think we have to kind of be realistic and look at it as a new tool that we need to learn to use.
Yep.
As opposed to something that we should be scared of. Because
Correct, yep.
whether we like it or not, it's going to be here. It's going to be here to stay.
Yeah.
So learn to use it or get left behind,
Yeah.
probably.
Because it's going to continue to get integrated into more and more things. But if you learn to use it as a tool, then it can definitely benefit you in your work or your line of work or your creativity or whatever you may be doing. Honestly,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I mean, we, some of the folks on our team are starting to integrate it. I know that we've been able to create some short content with the assistance of AI, not necessarily letting it, do it all on its own, because I think you still need that human factor to just,
Exactly.
make sure that it makes sense.
yeah,
Right.
agreed. But in regards to timing standpoint, it can generate things a little bit faster for you in regards to cuts and edits. But yeah, I agree. You do still have to have that human creativity to be able to really hone in to what you need for the audience or whatever you're making your piece for.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how AI continues to develop in 2024. But I think, I think we're definitely at one of those, moments in time and civilization, similar to when the cell phone came out and the internet came out and
Yeah.
smartphones came out.
100%, yeah.
This is one of those
things.
moments.
Yep, exactly.
It's
Agreed.
one of those things.
Exactly.
All right, fellas. So let's hop over to the world of sports again. I want to talk a little bit about something we all love, basketball.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Let's get it.
And I think more specifically, what's new in the NBA this year, right? And
Yep.
I'm talking about this new in-season tournament,
Yeah, bro.
right?
Yeah, it's exciting.
So it seems like the NBA, from what I read and from what I understand, they're coming up on basically re-upping a contract with all the media companies. And it seems like this might be a play by Adam Silver to bring more excitement and more attention to the game during the season.
Yep.
Right.
I totally agree with that, because if we're being honest, NBA is no longer really competitive or exciting until playoffs or the run for playoffs after All-Star. You know what I mean? Like, and then you also have these things where the players are allowed to, take games off and all this other stuff. So I think this in-season tournament kind of not combats that, but it definitely makes those stars that you want to come and see play all the time play a little bit more now, a little bit harder now during the season, because everything that's at stake.
Yeah, and this kind of reminds me of just soccer in terms of like when you have like the Champions League going on during the regular season. It's just it just gets you excited every game that you watch. Like you're gonna see Messi on Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, and not you're gonna see him Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Like the
Gotcha.
tournament just reminds me of the way the Champions League is kind of set up, just to kind of make the whole year kind of, I guess, more exciting, right?
Yeah.
So they
Like you're saying,
they definitely took a page out of the soccer leagues in terms of these in-season tournaments.
Yep.
I let's talk about what it looks like, right? So there's a couple interesting things. So we got these bright ass courts.
Yo, I can't stand the course, bro.
I think the Pacers have the worst court.
Bro,
They have that bright blue.
That bright blue,
Yeah.
right?
That fucked my
Yeah.
ass up.
Yeah.
Like I know, I love them. I think these courts just
You do?
look, yeah,
Oh,
bro, man. You know what? It makes me want to be at one of them games.
I think
Is
it's
it
just it's
the
hard
color-
on. It's just not traditional, bro. We're not used
It's just
to
the
it.
color
I think, but
contrast
it's dope.
to me. The color contrast of the jerseys versus the court. Sometimes the jerseys blend in with the court because it pops so much.
Definitely, it
That's the
definitely.
only thing. That's the only thing. For
But
me,
it makes sense for the league to do something
That's
different
not traditional.
that
Right.
identifies like, hey, this game has a different meaning to
Exactly.
it, right?
I do agree with that. I do
Then
agree.
they also have the city edition jerseys, which they've been doing yearly, but I think they've been using them more while they're playing this tournament as opposed
Yep.
to regular season games.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah.
I noticed some of them city edition jerseys have. I think somebody made some seating kits for those.
Yeah, somebody did,
Those
man.
been going out, around the country to different friends and family fans.
Yeah,
but-
man. Let's cue one of those up so they can see.
Yeah, we should definitely share what those look like. Definitely
Yeah.
fire. I'm loving the Bulls the Bulls jersey on these. I'm loving the Bulls
Yeah.
court. I'm being a homebody on it, but I think I like the look. There was an initial reaction by players and fans in terms of like people didn't understand it, right?
Yeah, of course. The NCAA tournament in general, they didn't understand it. But now when you hear people like Damian Lillard talk about why they're playing so hard, right now, and I mean a good portion of that is because of the reward, the money reward that each player gets. You know, for a player like him that's playing on such a big contract, a lot of his teammates that he played with and practiced with, these guys are on their contract is totally different. It's the one way or two way. You know, they don't really get as much money as he does or any of the stars. $500,000 per person to win that's on that team changes their whole it changes their whole year for those guys.
I think the money,
especially the rookies and stuff like that,
of
right?
course.
the
Like,
rookies
of
definitely
course.
gotta feel it, right?
Of course.
and it's been pretty interesting. I think this is kind of just random, but I think it was one of the group stage games. It was like the Bulls versus the Celtics. The game was, the Celtics were up by like 20 something points, and yet they were still hacking Drummond just so they can accumulate more points. I don't know the rules.
It's a points factor too.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm assuming that's what they were going for. And it was at the end of the game, they were up by like 20 something. Like everybody's like, what the hell are they doing? And why are they doing this?
Yeah.
So it was pretty funny that the Celtics coach walked over to the Bulls coach and explained why he's doing this.
Yeah,
And then the
they're
Bulls
still
coach is
learning
like, whatever, okay, whatever. Like,
They're still learning too. Like
Yeah, I forget which player it was, but I do recall a sound bite where they were asking one of the players, like, hey, what do you think about the in-season tournament?
Oh,
His response was basically like, I really don't know what it means or how it works. He's like, I'm basically here to just play the games. But what I will say is like, so yeah, there's the money impact of it. There's that visual of it. They're bringing that extra attention
Right.
to the league with regards to it. But, at the end of the day, like, these guys are competitors, man.
Yeah, of course.
And they might have not understood how it was structured or how it was going to work at the beginning. But I think we're seeing as it draws closer, to who the final two are going to be for that tournament. Like, they're getting excited about it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're a competitor and there's something to be won,
Exactly.
you want to win it.
yeah, everybody's buying into it for sure.
yeah, this is
For
just
sure.
the tester season. Like Gus was mentioning that one player who just, when the in-season tournament started, like, he didn't know what the hell was going on. I bet you next year,
Oh, yeah, he's gonna
go ham.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
everybody's gonna want to win this tournament
Yeah,
because now they understand the whole outcome and what they get out of it, right? Like, I expect next year's in-season tournament to be
a dog
super
fight.
crazy, a dog fight. Yeah,
It's gonna be like March Madness.
it's gonna be college
Exactly.
basketball.
College
That's what it's gonna turn
Yeah,
into.
it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be super dope. But I do respect the stars like Dame Lillard that spoke out about it, and not only that, they're actually out there. They're playing, like they're actually really playing and balling and trying to win it, because they're not playing for themselves. They're playing for that team and for those guys that can use that money too.
Whatever
I respect it.
I think whatever adds to the excitement and the competition of it, man.
Yep, I'm for it.
Absolutely.
Yep, I'm for it.
Super interesting. I guess we'll see how that continues to play out.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going away. Like they might tweak some rules here and there, but
Yeah, of
I think
course.
that in-season tournament's probably here to stay.
Yeah, I'm glad it is.
Yeah, guys. So I mean, for the first one, it was fun.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely looking forward to adding on, and gonna ask everybody to keep tuning in. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about some other topics, and
Yeah. Yeah, man.
as we continue finishing off and recapping 2023, we'll do another episode recapping some more things about 2023. But as we go into 24, you guys can definitely expect to have us. Watch us have some invited guests. We're gonna.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. We want to keep it like we want to give you guys an opportunity to meet us, get to
First,
know who we
yeah.
are first, understand what we're talking about in the show. We're talking about the culture, and we're talking about portions of the business, and we're talking about people that impact it. So we want you guys to get a feel for that, but definitely looking forward to more episodes when we get to 24. Some of those invited guests, some of them calling in, maybe even some of them in person here in the studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I think it's good, man.
yeah,
I think it's good.
Episode
It's
1 is in
exciting.
the books.
episode 1 in the books.
Good and exciting, man, for sure. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
fellas, appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Catch you next time, guys.
All right, peace, y'all.